Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Arbuckle and today I'll be sharing with you the business plan that I prepared for my new startup company, AutoPark Solutions. And this is what I'll be going over today in today's presentation. We'll be starting the presentation off with the mission and strategy of the company. This will include the day-to-day operations, the legal structure, and the technology that the company will be incorporating. We'll then be moving on to the market of the company. This will include the location that it will be operating in, the target customers, and the competitors. Then we'll be talking about the financials of the company, including the projected sales, income, annual expenses, and startup costs. And we'll be wrapping up today's presentation talking about the personnel of the company. This is where I'll share a little bit about myself and the plans to add future employees. The mission of AutoPark Solutions is to offer automobile parking to college students that offers great value, convenience, and meets the evolving needs of consumers. The company strives to deliver a great experience to its current customers while also sparking the interest of new potential customers. And here's the vision statement of the new company: to be the go-to service to meet the parking needs of university students. I first noticed the opportunity to start a new business in State College when I was a Penn State student pursuing my undergraduate degree. I realized that the town was growing much faster than the supply of parking. And I also noticed that the apartment complexes typically had very small lots relative to the number of students that they had. And the houses on the outskirts of downtown typically had anywhere between 6 and 12 students and only room for one vehicle. As I previously stated, the target market for this business is State College, Pennsylvania, home to the Penn State University. And our target customers are Penn State students. These students are typically in the area for 2 to 8 years. They typically value cost, convenience, and safety, and they're also very eco-conscious. Day to day, I'll be running the company. I'll be doing things like selling monthly passes, promoting the service, and maintaining the properties. I'll be working alone to keep costs low, but as the service grows, we'll be adding employees. The service is going to start with a more affordable offering, but then we are going to move up market as we add some new features and luxurious upgrades to the service. And I'll be going over some of these technologies that may differentiate us from our competitors right now. So the first technologies that could differentiate us from our competitors are the solar-powered street lamps and security cameras. These are great because they add some peace of mind and protection to the people who use our service. They are also very environmentally friendly, which is important to our target demographic. The next technology is automated payment kiosks. This will allow students to pay for their parking passes on site with a credit card or cash. And this will add some flexibility to the service, which is important to our consumers. The final technology that we're looking into are electric vehicle charging stations. These charging stations will become more and more important as as the electric vehicles become more popular in the market over the next decade. Some other upgrades that we can make to the service that are not listed in these new technologies are just pavement, a nice big sign at the entrance of the parking lot, and some rooftop coverage to protect vehicles and drivers from the weather. The legal structure that the company is going to go with is a sole proprietorship. This was chosen because it's a simple structure and also keeps startup costs low. Also, this type of business does not have a lot of liability, so the advantages of an LLC were not fully taken advantage of. Were not fully taken advantage of with this company. The competition that this company will face are broken down into three types. First is the parking garages. These are large multi-story structures downtown that are usually professionally run by a large company. Um, these are very expensive to park your vehicle in for the long term, so they're typically oriented towards just parking your vehicle for a few hours. The next type of competitor are the apartment complex parking lots. These are very small relative to the demand for parking downtown, and they are slightly more affordable for long-term parking. But like I said, there's just not enough of them, and their prices aren't actually their prices are better than the parking garages, but they're not affordable because they're still taking advantage of the imbalance in supply and demand. And the third type of competitor are the smaller gravel lots on the outskirts of downtown. These are typically smaller, run by an individual or a small company. And these are the type of competitors that we will be going head to head with initially. The company will be doing marketing to raise awareness in the market. The advertising will be cost effective initially before the company has raised enough capital to really be investing a ton of money in expensive methods. So the first method that we'll be using is a website where students can learn information about the service as well as pay for the service. The next method will be placing representatives in the hub. The hub is the central location where students spend time on campus. The representatives in the hub will hand out brochures and share information and get people's attention and kind of share the vision of the company. And finally, the representatives, such as myself, can hand out brochures, pin them on bulletin boards, and slide them under doorways of houses near the lot or apartments near the lot. Moving on to the finances of AutoPark Solutions. After the initial purchase of property, the funds of the company will be used in four main ways. The first is upkeep, which is for things such as maintaining the gravel or maintaining the property, essentially. And then the next is upgrades. This is the money that will be used for adding new features such as the payment kiosk or the solar powered cameras. The third type of use of funds will be the marketing. This is the advertising where we will be raising awareness in the market about our company. And the fourth use of funds will be the expansion. This is more of a long-term use of funds where we will be adding new properties and growing and adding new employees, which will have to pay their salaries. So initially, the main startup cost is going to be purchasing the property. These properties are not consistently available in a good location for us, so we may have to delay the start of the company by a few months until we find a suitable property. And the money that we are going to use for this purchase is going to be sourced from these three locations, partially from my own savings, partially from bank loans, and partially from investors. Here we can look at the annual expenses that the company is expected to face. You can see that this company is capable of running on very low cost year to year. The largest cost is going to be the construction and the taxes, and then the other costs are pretty minuscule. Here we're going to look at the sales forecast. You can see that these fluctuate throughout the year due to the fluctuating demand The demand in State College for parking fluctuates because of the different school semesters. It is lowest in the summer. And you can also see that the number of units sold does ramp up over time as the awareness in the market changes. This is a look at our income year to year, as well as looking at our expenses. You can see that the net profit is it reaches about $20,000 in only the second year, and this is just the beginning. This is just after we purchased the first lot, and we just haven't really done much to it. It's just a gravel parking lot. We can expect to make around $20,000 a year with very low annual expenses. And here's a little bit about the company personnel. This is myself. I've proven myself to be capable of learning quickly, and I'm a driven individual. And I'm ready to take on this challenge. I'm excited to take it on. Other personnel that the company will be using later down the road will be some contractors for construction, or another employee to help run the future properties once we expand. Are there any questions today? Okay, well, thank you everyone for listening to today's presentation on AutoPark Solutions.